Hello, and welcome back on another lovely Wednesday evening.
Another Wednesday evening.
We're back 1 week later from a Wednesday, so I guess Wednesday might be our little bit of an alternative day. But really, every day of the week is an alternative day, as Gabagalooza is back in your hearts. So we're back on the screen today. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing tonight? Hope y'all had a good day. First day of summer.
Yeah.
The longest day of the year is today.
The longest day of the year. The sun will be up, and it's going to seem like it's never going to go down.
The sun will be up probably by the time we end this episode tonight.
Oh, absolutely it will. Absolutely. So, how have you been this past week?
But, hanging in there. Not
Hanging
bad,
in there.
just working, living the dream, living the American dream in the workforce,
Yeah.
But not bad, though. Not bad.
Well, that's good. That's good. Myself, I haven't been too bad. I've kind of just been chilling. But, hey, we're back. And something that'll always be back. Baseball. So it's the only sport left that's going and chugging along. And it's really going to be the only sport that we're going to have until about September. Maybe August.
August. I'd say August.
August.
Pretty much from now and the rest of the month of July and, beginning of August, it will be baseball.
Yep.
Baseball only.
Yep. And hey, but I mean, we're going to be able to bring you some other news from trades and, acquisitions and other things like that in other sports when they come along. But for right now, baseball is all we got. It's in our hearts. Forever.
Forever.
Well, the Subway Series is over. And they played last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, and while we were doing the show, they were getting ready to gear up later on that night. And, well, we split. So the Yankees won the first game, 7-6, and then we lost the last game, 3-4. But I think what was the biggest surprise of that entire series was Isaiah Kiner-Falefa stealing home plate. Stealing home. Literally,
Why did I know that you would say that? that made me want to blow my head off.
That is one of the most electrifying plays in baseball, along with the inside park home run. And,
it's just called having your head in the game, and that's exactly what Kiner-Falefa did. He had his head in the game. He saw that Brooks Raley was in the windup for some reason. A big league pitcher, for some reason, in his windup with a runner on third.
Yeah, I think that really blew my mind the most about that entire thing.
That's high school.
Yeah, I definitely... Brooks Raley, I don't know what he's doing there. I mean, luckily you're still able to get the win.
And then, I love how Met fans were actually even more pissed off that he ended up throwing near his head. If you think about it, he did the right thing there. Because if he hits the batter, the ball's dead. The runner can't score.
Yep.
He stays at third.
Which, honestly, is the right call, in which, honestly, it looked like he was doing that.
If you want to make up for what you just did, you got to hit the hitter. And, unfortunately, he didn't hit the hitter.
Yep.
But, to the people out there who just don't know anything about baseball or are just pissed off about it, don't be pissed off about it. He tried to do the right thing. It's just...
Yeah.
You didn't like the outcome of what actually happened. You didn't like the turnout.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, hey, you guys were still able to snag the win.
Somehow, someway, we were still able
it was...
Get her done.
It was good.
Walk it off.
And hopefully in July we're able to go to one of the games. Hopefully those kind of games continue in July. Mm-hmm. Let's just hope. But... hopefully in July we'll both have our big players back in the game.
Yeah, because it did suck not being able to see Judge and Alonso in both lineups.
And honestly...
in that ballpark.
And in all reality, Judge not being in the Yankees lineup has killed them. And literally the last win, that we've had was, given last night. But prior to that, it was literally a week ago on last Tuesday against you guys. And we got swept by Boston this past weekend, right? It looked ugly. Game 1, we lost 15-5. It was 10-0 or 10-1 with I don't even know. A lot of time played already, but it was the fourth inning. It was just very ugly. Saturday's game got rained out, but they ended up losing the doubleheader on Sunday. Judge really is just, it's almost like the Yankees can't bounce off each other without Judge in the lineup. It's almost like they can't mount a rally or get anything started without him being on the team. It's just they play off of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's troubling, but I mean, what's even more troubling is just getting swept by Boston.
I mean, and then you look at it in the Mets' perspective. I'm sorry, but you can't say shit. We're literally the opposite record as you right now. We're not doing good. We just lost to the Astros again, 2 in a row. We didn't get swept, thank God. We did beat them pretty good in the first game by 10, but in our last 5 games, we're 1-4. So and the win against St. Louis was nice, but losing to the second worst team in a series, you can't do that right now. You can't be doing that right now. And we haven't won a series. We haven't won a series since last month. This entire month, we have not won a single series. We have lost to the Blue Jays. We got swept by the Blue Jays. By the Blue Jays. Got swept by the Braves. That was 6 losses in a row. Then 7, first game against Pittsburgh. Then we won, but lost again. Lost that series. We split with you, and then lost a series against Cardinals, and just lost a series today against the Astros. We're now 34-40. We are almost 10 games under 500 right now, and it's
I mean, I could definitely
really
say,
tough.
As a Yankee fan, we still have a good record. We're still in it, but it is I mean, it's the bullpen for you guys. It's
the pitching in general. I mean, some of the starters, I feel like it's every other start, especially with Scherzer and Verlander. It's every other start that they are Scherzer and Verlander. The other, they're the shell of their former themselves. It's just not good. Scherzer was Scherzer back on Monday night.
Yep.
Against the Astros, he did fantastic. But the night before that, against the Yankees, he just wasn't there. He was there for the first 3 or 4 innings, but then he blew up.
Yep.
So it's just consistency is what the Mets don't have right now, to help them in general, and their pitching just cannot help their offense. That literally just gives it up, and our offense can only do so much. Yeah. So, and we're scoring runs, we're still scoring runs.
Absolutely.
I mean,
today was kind of the show of it.
Yeah, we lost 10-8 today, and we almost came back. Got robbed of a hit. Yeah. Brett Beatty tried to get a base hit in the left field, and the Astros left fielder made a great catch. There's nothing you can do about it. You got losses 8-7 against the Cardinals, 10-8 tonight. 3-5, 5-3, 6-7 against the Yankees.
They're close games. They're at least able to hang into it, but it's
13-10 against the Braves.
It's almost like the pitching just can't hold out enough.
The team looks so good on paper. They're just not getting it done.
Yeah, literally they spent the most money that ever in MLB history, and then this is what they're getting.
This is what we're producing, and it just sucks, man. It really does, because I know this team could do way better than what they're doing right now. They could do way better than what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just it's the old Mets, man. It literally is like the Mets from a decade ago, because in 2012 the Mets had one of the best offenses in the league. Their pitching was the worst in the league, and that's what had them be freaking sub 5 wins under 500 team. So it's just, I don't know. We just need that mojo that we had last year to just pick it up. I know, it was a different team than last year, but in reality, we didn't really change that much. So, it shouldn't really make that much of an effect. And if anything, our bullpen and our pitching has gotten better.
Yeah.
We had signed actually good guys like Leon and freaking Brooks Raley and Dave Robertson.
Quintana.
But then Quintana's not even here yet.
I don't know, but he's hurt.
He was supposed to be here at the beginning of this month. He's still hurt.
It's like Rodon.
Why? Give a projection way later. Give it in August. Yeah. Don't tell me he's coming back in June, and not have him come back. Literally, July is next week, or in 2 weeks from now. So I don't know.
Well,
it's rough in the state of New York.
But hey, on the opposite side of the country in LA, the Freeway Series is going on, and the 2-game span, just like the Subway Series last week, and it's going to span from last night to today. The Dodgers took game 1, 2-0. It was a, pretty minimalistic game. Will Smith and Michael Busch driving in the 2 runs for the game. But nothing really too fancy in the big game or in the first game. But game 2 goes on tonight in about 40 minutes. So I'm interested to see. I would like to know who are the probable projected pitchers for tonight. Because Kershaw went last night for the Dodgers, and he performed, great.
Mm-hmm.
Kershaw,
it seems like he just gets better and better every year now at this point.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm not seeing it, but
I can get it up for you.
Yeah. Regardless of the point, the Freeway Series is going on. It's Dodgers, Angels. You see Trout, Ohtani going up against Freeman and Betts on the Dodgers. It's supposed to be a great series, man.
So at the moment, Ohtani is on the mound for the Angels tonight.
Okay.
Dodgers don't have a pitcher yet.
I wonder if it would be Bobby Miller, because I honestly would be surprised. That would kind of be a good showing, honestly, I think. And hey, if you have Ohtani on the mound, you're gonna get a good start from him. Yeah. There's always a chance that he doesn't, and he gets blown up, but that's a very, very odd chance of happening. Mm-hmm. But something else that's a little odd that involves Ohtani also includes another MLB player in the AL, Brandon Belt. And Brandon Belt said some things about Ohtani and him being behind Ohtani in the DH All-Star rankings by less than more than 1 million votes. And I'm going to read you verbatim what he said to Paige Leckie at MLB.com. Brandon Belt stated, "Yeah, that's how you know it's rigged. I should be number 1. And everybody knows I'm a better hitter than he is. Better DH, better team leader. But here we are." Before I ask you what your thoughts are on that, I don't think that this is 100% true. But I think that...
It's not true at all.
It's just preposterous to say.
Talk about talking out of your ass, bro.
And let's give you guys the rundown here, okay? Brandon Belt on the year is having a 263 average in 156 at bats. He has 41 hits, 18 runs, 4 home runs, and 16 RBIs.
No, that's not terrible. That's average.
That's not terrible.
That's major league average. That's not a bad season.
But here's Ohtani's hitting stats for the year. In 281 at-bats, he's batting .295. He has 38 walks, 58 RBIs, 24 home runs, 83 hits, and 49 runs.
It's just night and day.
It is literally night and day, folks.
I just can't believe he would say something like that.
Honestly,
I just don't get it.
You said something that, I kind of, I didn't even think about up until, right now. But, you said, what is his agents give him a bonus or whatever for saying that?
Are they, giving him, a $50,000 or, a $150,000 bonus just to say that on...
First of all, Brandon Belt, when you were with the Giants, you were good, right? I'm not saying you're not good now, but you are not.
You're not better than
Shohei Ohtani.
You're not Shohei Ohtani. Let's just keep it at that.
Let's just say this.
Oh, man.
Ohtani said himself he would take his pitching over his hitting. Well, I'm here to tell you first, I'd much rather take his hitting.
He's a good pitcher, but...
He's a good pitcher, no doubt.
One of the greatest hitters in the game right now.
Literally.
And also, I want to point this out too. When you reread that to me again, I had just thought of this notion too. Low key, kind of racist as well. for him saying not a good leader. Because if you think about it, there's a language barrier there and a culture barrier. He's Japanese with an almost, most American and other, southern country teams of the western part of the world. Low key, kind of racist as well about I mean, people may interpret honestly, it that way.
That's very true. People may interpret that way, and honestly, I didn't even think about that.
Like, it literally just caught to me, like, when you said that, the fact that he said, like, and not a good leader, or like, I'm a better leader than you. Well, he, like, dude, you need to give him at least a chance with that, because there's a language and culture barrier there.
He literally has an interpreter.
Like, what else can he do?
Like, and
he's learning the language.
And given, right? I don't think that Ohtani would be the captain of that team because Trout is there.
No.
But he has got to be on that level in just clubhouse guy. He's just got to be.
Yeah, he's definitely a chemistry guy.
Real.
He keeps the mojo going.
I don't know why he said that. I would love to hear his answer on why he felt like he needed to say that. If it was just to kind of spark some feud or, try to spark a flame under his ass.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I would love to know, but it's kind of preposterous.
It really is, man. Like, I just
I just think
I can't think of a good reason why you should be saying that.
I just think that it's BS. I mean, you're batting .263. That's the best thing about you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, you're a DH. You're supposed to provide pop. You have 4 home runs.
4 freaking home runs, and you played the whole season.
Now, given you have, 60 at-bats less than Ohtani.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, in 60 at-bats, you're not going to hit 20 home runs.
And also, dude, you're old as fuck. Like, relax. Like, you're a fucking boomer at this point, man. Like, Ohtani's younger than you. You're freaking a shell of your former self. Like, grow up here, my guy. Why don't you be a leader and don't say that?
I mean, honestly, being a leader, you're not going to spread some kind of... You're not going to say some kind of shit like that. As a leader on a team? Are you kidding me? You imagine David Wright or Derek Jeter saying something like that?
No, that would
when A-Rod and Jeter had their feud, A-Rod was going and talking all this stuff, to the reporters. Jeter didn't open his mouth once.
Nope. That's a leader.
That's a leader.
He's a leader. Derek Jeter is, no doubt, one of the best leaders in this game, and take example for what he does, because you're not taking example, my guy.
That is, I mean, honestly, you were, once Buster Posey left, you were the leader of that Giants team.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. And given, you left, right? Fair. Completely fair. But it's almost like you dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, it's just not your place to say something like that, my guy.
If people are voting for you, right? Cool. But you're not going to surpass Ohtani.
Nope.
He is in his own category.
He's in his own league.
Nobody can hit and pitch at the same time like Shohei Ohtani. Nobody. No one. Especially at the level that Ohtani is playing at.
Mm-hmm.
You kidding me?
No one can do what he's doing right now. I'm sorry. No one.
Are you telling me that in 60 at-bats, Brandon Bell, that you'd be able to raise your average to a 295? Not a chance.
And hit 20 more home runs in that span as well?
Not even 20 home runs. 30-plus RBIs. You're not doing that.
Nope.
You're a leader on that team? I just don't see it.
Nope.
I don't see it at all. Given, I got no hate towards you, but you're spewing shit out your ass. And I'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how
it's just mind-boggling.
It really is.
It really is.
I don't.
It's a head tilter.
It really is. But on the other hand, we got good news and good things to spread. because it's time for our weekly baseball talk. Slice of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're new, this is where we highlight 2 players or 2 things in the sports baseball world, and we just highlight them and talk about them, give them a little bit of shine and a little bit of limelight, But hey, should I go first or should you go first, my friend?
I think you went first last time.
Okay.
So I'll take the first shot at it right here.
Sounds good.
So my first slice of goodness tonight, and it's been a while since I actually had been able to talk about a New York Met in this category, considering of what has been going on right now. We just talked about before, and also I like to steer away from being biased and picking a player for my team, but this is actually something worth to talk about, and just a story behind it, and that is Danny J. Burgers himself, Danny Vogelback.
Look at that guy.
Look at the burger try. He hit his fourth hamburger of the year.
4th hamburger of the year.
And he's been doing really good lately. And ever since Buck had sat him to have him clear his head, for 2 weeks straight, he's now back in the lineup and is doing work and he's producing. And I'll pull up stats really quick. In his last 7 games, he's hitting at .292. He has 2 hamburgers, 7 ribeye steaks, and 7 hits and 24 at bats, and went 3 for 4 today.
Honestly, I think Buck kind of said,
drove in 3 runs.
Every time you eat a hamburger, you get all you can eat Shake Shack.
Every time you get a home run, you get all you can eat Shake Shack.
Hey, Danny Cheeseburger, man. He's one of my... I really wish he would change his walk-up to the Burger King song.
Whopper.
I wish he would just do that. But, I mean, good for him, kind of cleared his mind a bit and actually stepping into his, in his shell.
Yeah, bro. And he's got his average back up to 230 for the season. He's driven in 21 runs now. 4 home runs. He drove in 3 today.
And that last 7-game stint, that's all you want. Mm-hmm. That's what you want from a DH.
That's what you want from a DH, right there.
That is what you want from a DH.
Right there.
Literally, right there. In 7 games, Danny Vogelback is almost as good as Brandon Belt.
Oh my God. For the year!
Literally, in 7 games.
Just production-wise. For the year.
God, that still just blows my mind.
Anyway, that is my first slice of goodness of the night. AP, who's your first?
Well, it comes from the New York Mets' old town rival, coming from the South, the Atlanta Braves center fielder, Michael Harris II. And he was voted, NL Player of the Week. And honestly, on the year, he hasn't been too bad. Now, I wish his average would come up a little bit, and then I feel like he would really be performing as he did last year. Mm-hmm. So far on the year, in 173 at-bats, he is a .249 average. He is 43 hits, 23 runs, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. Mm-hmm. The stolen bases numbers I would also like to see come up a little bit, but just in the last week...
Oh, yeah, talk about his week. You just heard his season stats. That's been bumped the friggin' frack up because listen to what he's done in his last 7 and 15.
So, in his last 7 games, 27 at-bats, he has 13 hits. He's batting .481. 6 runs, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 1 stolen base. He's got a .778 slugging percentage. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And as a center fielder, who's really just known for his contact and speed, it's pretty good. He's doing pretty goddamn good. So, hey, shout out to Michael Harris. Hope you keep performing well. As long as you're not playing the Mets. Keep it up, man.
I can.
But that is my first slice of goodness. So, we're on to our last slice of goodness for the week. My friend, what is your last slice of goodness?
My last slice of goodness is another twist. Like last week, we talked about the A's fans. Because that happened last week. Totally forgot about that until just now. This time, however, it is not the fans I'll be talking about. It'll be the team. And that team is the Cincinnati Reds. They have won 11 in a row.
They're on fire.
They are on fire, let alone their new middle infielder that just got called up. And he is taking the league by storm right now.
He has.
I mean, dude, when De La Cruz, when he literally makes contact, he's already on first base.
Yeah. Literally.
It's insane.
Literally.
11 games, and it's the longest win streak that the Reds have had since 1957.
Holy moly.
They haven't had a longer winning streak since the year my dad was born.
I mean, they have been, since Ellie got called up, Ellie De La Cruz, since he's gotten called up, that team has been fun.
They're fun to watch, man. Now Joey Votto's back in the mix. He hit a home run in his debut back for the season. Just out of this world, man. They're just on fire. And they won today against the Rockies 5-3, and they expanded that streak to 11 games. Jake Fraley hit a game or a tie-breaking home run, a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning to help out the Reds to win the game today. And the Reds are 5 games over 500 now at 40-35. And they have kept their first place rankings in the National League Central race as of today. So it's just remarkable what they're doing.
And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that Pittsburgh is in second. I love to see it. I love to see it.
You'd love to see that.
And given Oneil Cruz isn't playing for Pittsburgh, and they're still in second, it is exciting.
They're still up at the top right now in that division.
The Reds, and the only kind of comparison I can compare Ellie De La Cruz to is a hybrid of Oneil Cruz and Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, that's a good comparison right there. A little good combination.
Because Oneil's got the power and the speed, but Lindor's got the consistency.
Yep.
And the fielding.
Yeah. Now, granted, Lindor, he can be streaky too.
Can be.
But, I don't know. I feel like he does have a lot more upside in his consistency than the downside.
I mean,
but
considering he's 6'5".
Yeah, another tall dude in the middle infield right there.
I know that Oneil Cruz is 6'7" as well as Judge.
Yep.
But I mean,
they both can book it.
Ellie
both can
is
hit it.
So fast, and honestly, along with Yoshida, I think that Ellie might be becoming one of my favorite players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is fun to watch.
So much fun to watch, man.
He is so fun to watch.
Really, seriously. I might even just tune into MLB.TV and catch an at-bat of him every night. Just to be able to see him. I mean, that's what I was doing with Yoshida all year long.
I mean, I still do kind of think that Yoshida is my favorite player right now.
My favorite player.
If
there's a shirt available, I'm buying that shirt. I'm looking right now.
Honestly,
because it's been a while.
I can't do that. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't just
because it's Boston.
But I can.
But you could.
You can try to find Japanese.
Hey, that's true. I could try to find a Japanese. You know what? I'm gonna find a Japan jersey of Masataka Yoshida.
There you go, baby.
But hey, that's a great slice of goodness. Especially that team has been really fun. I just can't say it enough. But hey, good final slice of goodness, my friend. As my last slice of goodness comes from Oakland. Their center fielder, Esteury Ruiz. And honestly, it hasn't been doing too bad on the year. In 288 at-bats, he's batting .264 with 76 hits, 30 runs. He's only got 1 home run. Not really a pop guy. But he's got 29 RBIs. And people, we were just talking about some real speed and, Ellie De La Cruz and, Oneil Cruz. Yeah. Esteury Ruiz is fast and all. In 44 attempts to steal a base this year. Guess how many stolen bases he has? Well, I'll tell you. It's not in the 10s. It's not in the 20s. It's not even in the 30s. I'm lying. It's in the 30s. It's 37.
You almost had me there. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? 37.
37
almost 40
stolen
bases at the end of
People,
June. Not even at the end of June yet. We're still in the middle of June.
It's the 21st of June. Literally.
Almost 40 stolen bases.
It's a little more than a third of the way through the season.
Like,
is 37 stolen bases.
And, like, honestly, like, you were saying, like not a bad season. That's a really good season for a leadoff hitter, especially looking at, like, on base compared to his, like, average 264. That's average. But, like, his on base is almost 400. It's like 373 right now. And the stolen bases to boot. Like, he's getting on base and he's stealing them consistently. That's just what any ball club needs, especially the A's right now, who are still the worst team in the league. They don't even have 20 wins yet.
Yeah.
But, like, that's just a nice little bright spot for the A's organization.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, him being able to perform is kind of like one of their only bright spots on the year. But it's sad to say that. But, I mean, I'm looking here at Ricky Henderson and his stolen base numbers, because I would love to know how many stolen bases he had when he was with Oakland in a single season. And I would love to see if Estieri is honestly may top that this year. So from what I'm seeing, okay, yeah, if Ricky Henderson was playing with the A's in 1982, there's no chance that he's breaking that. He had 100-something stolen bases. Not a chance. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he's not going to be able to break that record. But he's at least going to be able to provide the A's a little bit of bright spot in their last season in Oakland. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, honestly, I would think this would be their last season in Oakland.
No, I don't think it's going to be because they still haven't made the stadium. They don't even have broken ground. Although they did say, I did hear somewhere that like they low-key may want to like run them out of town really quick and just put them in like the Las Vegas Aviators, I think, ballpark, that minor league ballpark, because they just upgraded that ballpark and it looks beautiful. They could actually like put like a major league team there for like a couple of years as the new stadium's being built. Like they could get away with it. It's like with the Islanders, like when they were making UBS Arena, they put them back at the upgraded Nassau, which was low capacity. They could do the same thing there.
I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to break ground by November, right? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they were able to get that done by the season.
They could, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be like the Raiders.
Yeah.
Stadium. Like, it's going to be big and it's going to be state of the art. They're going to want to take their time with it, but also start as soon as they can.
Yeah, agreed. But that is my final slice of goodness for the week. And we shift from some baseball talk onto some basketball. Now, we did say that we would cover some acquisitions and some trades, in other leagues. And some of the biggest news of the week has come out of Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns traded Chris Paul away. He's no longer on the team. He's been traded to the Washington Wizards. And, I mean, hey, good for you, man, but Bradley Beal gets to go to Phoenix, and he's going to really perform there because that team is going to be really good. That team, they have a real big three.
Oh, my God, dude.
They have a big three. Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. Yep. I mean, that is an insane three. And especially if Kevin Durant and Devin Booker can return to an actual, good standard. But, hey, Chris Paul, hopefully, and I've heard that they also might be looking to release or trade him out of Washington. Mm-hmm. So it's very possible that happens.
He'd definitely be good trade bait for a playoff team down the stretch during the next season.
But some news that just came out today is that the Wizards are nearing another trade with the Boston Celtics. It is a three-way trade that would involve Kristaps Porzingis, former New York Knick, Reports came out saying that it would be a 3-team trade between the Celtics, Wizards, and Clippers. Porzingis would go to Boston. Malcolm Brogdon would go to the Clippers, and Marcus Morris and draft compensation would go to the Wizards. And honestly, that would be a good help for the Celtics.
Yep.
I mean, he's gotten better since he's been in New York. Mm-hmm. But I could really kind of help them get over the edge.
Yeah.
I honestly think that could honestly help them get back to the finals. Mm-hmm. They were one step away this year, and, they ended up losing to the Heat, in 7. But I feel like if Kristaps was in that game, definitely a different story. Because, they have someone to cover Bam.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo. But, hey, forget about sports. As it's time for Ashley's Outrageously Random Questions. You heard it right. It's our favorite segment of the week.
They're over
every
here.
Week, as we read 10 questions that my wife writes for us. We read them to ourselves and we answer them to you guys. We would also like your input to some of these questions as well because, hey, we want your input for everything.
Absolutely.
But at the end of this little segment, we have this little question here. It has an A on it. And guess what the A stands for? The audience. Yes, you guys. But we will also answer it to ourselves. But this one is mainly for you guys to answer. Everybody get them typing Twitter fingers ready. As we're gonna get into this. And my friend, I think you went last week first. So yes, I will go first this week. The first question is... Who is the most interesting person you have met?
Now, is it like famous person?
I guess it could be. I
feel like that just be
anybody.
It would be like a better story to tell, I guess, or like people would get it if you say a famous person, because I could say somebody that I've always found interesting that like I only know, and then people will be like, huh? So I probably won't steer from that, but like as a famous person,
I think honestly the one that really comes to mind is Reggie Jackson to me. And it's literally just because of the conversation that we had, because my dad had we went to it was an old Yankees World Series reunion, and a bunch of guys were there signing, for a bunch of different people, and you could buy and get autographs from them. But my dad got a Reggie Jackson bat with all of his stats on it, and when we went and brought it to him to sign, he told us, some stories, because he realized that on the bat it said 12-time All-Star, and he said, no, that's wrong. I was a 14-time All-Star. So he crossed out the 12 and wrote 14. And I believe there was one other stat that was incorrect on that as well. I want to say it was, man, honestly, it might have been another award that he got, how many silver sluggers or whatever. But, I mean, honestly, it was just kind of cool to hear him talk about, because when he brought up, like, the different All-Stars, because he was like, I was an All-Star here, and here, and, I wonder what one they're, mistaking, not putting there. And, he talked about some All-Star experiences and, some of the All-Star, weekends that he had or weeks that he had. Yep. And honestly, I mean, it was just really, really, really cool. Really, I mean, honestly, really cool.
Yeah, I don't know, like, one that comes to mind, just, like, the conversation that we had in general, that was probably Chris Sabat. Because when I had met him at MAOIC, a couple years ago, back at this point, like a year and a half back, like, we had just had the nicest, like, heart-to-heart conversation. Like, I felt like I'd known him for years, and, like, like, I just felt at home when I was talking to him, and not many celebrities make me feel that way when I talk to them. Yeah. I don't necessarily geek out when I meet celebrities. Like, I don't, like, I don't go nuts or whatever, or, like, freak the fuck out, or, like, have anxiety. But like, this was like, I felt like not that I felt nothing, but like I just felt like I was at home talking to him, and we were just literally just having the most like, again, heart to heart conversation. I mean,
honestly, yeah, like,
and, kind of emotional as well.
I can kind of go and say almost the same thing with Bryce Papenbrook. Because I had went up to him and asked, we had talked to each other, and I was like, I think I'm gonna ask Bryce, who's which lover would you, favor the most out of Asuna, Mikasa, and Elizabeth, because he voiced Meliodas, and a couple other people, more than a lot of people, but he kind of just opened up and geeked out, and like nerded out.
Don't you just love that too when the celebrities end up nerding out and geek out in front of you?
And I've always kind of been like the nerdy geeky, like, oh my god, I would love to think about that, and he like kind of broke it down in like a really really like really cool way, and honestly, like, he said that he wouldn't choose, but honestly, I think it would be Asuna, because that kind of love that they have for each other is kind of just ungodly.
Yeah, like in a way, like he kind of broke down like every which way, that could work.
Yeah.
But like probably like out of all that he talked about, like it's probably Asuna.
Yeah, but that's a good question.
Very good question. There are probably more people that I've met.
Yeah.
That are interesting, maybe even weird interesting, but those were good ones though. So a good question.
Hold on, I'm sorry, my friend, but I'm gonna tell a weird one because one just came in mind.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, I was in the military, and I was what they call an MP, military police, and we would stand gates, and the base that we were at was a weapons station, so they would unload guns and stuff like that. Well, we had a submarine come in, and the sub guys are a little off. They would make the people from the boat or sub send a person to stand watch with us at the gate, right, to verify the ship crew, right, that was coming in, so they could be like, yeah, I know him, he's good, like that. Well, the conversations that we would have were very, very off, and they all included porn.
Oh.
This one guy, I don't remember his name, and I'm glad I do. I'm glad I don't remember it. But he told me that he had 175 gigs worth of porn downloaded on his hard drive, and he gave me his top 25 porn stars. He was able to name
all of 25 of them in order.
I'm telling you, man. Weird. And this is at like 2:00 at night. There's no one around.
Oh my god.
Like, there's no one I can like. And when he brought up the initial conversation, I kind of like laughed like that, like like what the yeah, like, all right, man, cool. Okay. And then no, he was like, no, man, seriously, I'll show you it when I come back off my duty. And literally, he brought his laptop and brought his hard drive, and he showed me that there was 175 gigs worth of video files, and literally scrolled down different.
Oh my god!
And this entire time, I'm standing there going,
"That's just something you don't show off."
I'm just like,
or do.
The main thought that was going through my head was, how much semen is on that hard drive?
I mean, listen, you're in the, listen, man, you're in the Navy.
Oh, man.
It's full of semen! Question number 2. Do you have a bucket list? If so, what's on it? I have a bucket list of all the stadiums I want to go to.
Yeah.
In baseball. And hockey. I want to go to hockey arenas as well.
That is definitely
And places I want to visit in general, like other countries.
I would definitely say mine kind of just consists of destinations I want to go to.
Yeah, right.
More instead
it's
of more so
that I
want
to be a part of.
Yes. I want to do.
Yeah. There are other things. But if we're gonna actually be able to talk about it on here, mostly destinational.
Yeah,
options.
I mean, I would definitely say that all the MLB stadiums are like I want to go to all the MLB stadiums. Yep. That is definitely on my bucket list. Mm-hmm. Go to all the football stadiums. I would love to. But other than that, it's just kind of vacation spots I want to go to.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
and
about
experiences
it.
Like I want to see a Japanese baseball game.
Well, like, yeah, I was literally just about to say, like, and, like, big wise, like, I could name a couple things I want to do in Japan, yep. But I mean, like, I'm going to encompass it. I want to go to Japan, right? So, it's a good question, though.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Question number 3. What is the QB yelling before a play?
Ooh. It could be many things.
It could be many things because he could be trying to just talk a bunch of, horse shit that doesn't make sense or doesn't, sound real, and it's just trying to get into the heads of the opposing defense. But he's more of just calling adjustments. Like, certain code words could mean a receiver needs to move or, motion himself, or, he could be calling an auto ball, and be changing the play entirely, which then he'll be literally calling out the play in code words.
It's a lot of code.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like, blue 42, like...
green 19.
Yeah, it literally, like...
Alpha.
Like...
Omaha.
Say it. Like, literally.
Green 19!
Yeah, literally.
It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, quite literally, like, I would love to actually have, like, a quarterback, kind of tell us what he's actually, like, indicating. Because,
tell me the play that we're doing and what he's going to say, and if he changes it up, what will he say, and what will that play be?
Yeah, I would love to, like, hear, like, honestly, I would love to hear Aaron Rodgers talk about it, because he really has every game he plays memorized in his head.
Every game memorized in his head, and every game that he is currently in is in the palm of his hands.
Literally, he could break it out at any moment.
Yeah, and can manipulate. Yeah, anything. Like, he can manipulate the time. He can manipulate the defense so well. I would
definitely love to know, like, just some of the terminology that they spew out, like what it could mean. Is it, an actual motion? This person, it's a certain spot on, it's the slot receiver. Green 19, maybe the, slot receiver needs to shift and motion themselves across the line.
Or that could just be the standard, run up the middle play.
Or it could just be green 19, green 19.
Yeah, or it could be a fake out. Like, they could be saying a totally different, like, phrase, and it literally just means nothing. There's no change.
Literally. I would love to know that.
Yeah.
It's a great question. This is a great question, because honestly, that's something a lot of people don't know.
It is something a lot of people don't know. Question number 4. What is your most streamed, listened to song in your library? Ooh, can I figure that out?
I don't know. If you can, let me know. I would have to say it's probably a song called For Your Eyes Only by J. Cole. It's a little bit of a longer song, but I have listened to that a lot.
Like... There could be, like, an automatic playlist for you or something.
I don't know.
There's, like, recently added. I know. Recently played.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
There has to be, like, a playlist that is, like, most listened. Or top 25. Hold on. Top 25 played. Oh, okay. So, like, if we're talking about, like, real, like, music, because, like, a bunch of this is just, like, a bunch of, like, my sound effects that I use for, like, when I'm doing baseball games. Mine is Toko by 1-2.
Toco by 1-2, eh?
TOCO by 1-2 WUNTWO. I have not listened to 1-2 in a really long, like probably over a year now. I kind of stopped listening to lo-fi, low key. I kind of just started listening to anything else.
I don't know how to find it out.
So like if you go to Apple Music,
yep.
Go to playlists.
Okay.
It should be like yours is alphabetical.
Yes.
Just go to T's top 25. There should be like a top 25 something. It's not alphabetical. Here's your Shazam tracks. Yeah, just keep going. Maybe we'll find it. No, really. Could you search it?
I can try. Top.
Oh no. Go back to your playlist library. I think there should be a search function at the top. Yeah, there you go. Maybe top. That pops on. No. Interesting. Well, I mean, if y'all in the chat know how you can do that on Apple Music, please let us know.
Yeah, honestly.
Because I literally have it's always been there ever since I've had my Apple Music. It just says my top 25 most played.
Interesting. I would, if I had to take a guess, I would say that's probably my most listened to song though. For Your Eyes Only. Good question though. I would love to find that out. Honestly. All right. What is your favorite memory with each other?
Favorite memory with each other? There are so many memories.
There are. Honestly. Talk time with Anthony. Yeah. I was gonna say at daycare with Beth. Those were the good old fucking days.
That, man. Oh, we had so much fun. I just remember us being at Beth's her big basement with all the video room that was down there and the play area that was in the back and the color area that was in the corner. I remember just being down there and just acting like a bunch of freaking goofballs.
I mean, honestly,
Talk time with Anthony was fun.
Honestly, if I'm gonna go I would love to just say your basement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that would be too broad because there's way too many things we've done in there.
Yeah. What about my basement? What did we do?
Hockey was also extremely fun in the basement. That was also extremely. And when we all played freaking hockey at the rink, those were really good times.
Or even at the end of my cul-de-sac, the pond.
Yeah.
When it was frozen enough.
Those over the rink, 100%.
My backyard, wiffle ball stadium. There's so many, man. There are so many. Your street.
Honestly, though, I'll say the most recent one. Though I will say the Boston Yankees game that we went to.
Mm-hmm. That was nice. It was just me and him.
Yeah.
And that was nice. And we definitely need to do that again. We need to do that for another Yankee game and a Met game. Me and you need to go to a Met game together. Just me.
Yes, agreed.
Definitely need to do that both ways, and we will, and we'll let you know how it goes.
Well, a little NFL breaking news came out the other day that Tyreek Hill might have been looked by the police, and under investigation after possibly hitting somebody in a nightclub. It's just been announced that the Miami-Dade Police Department finished its investigation into the alleged assault. By him on Sunday. He won't be charged with anything, so it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. He's a good football player.
Yeah, for real.
You definitely don't want that to happen to a superstar.
Yes.
All right, question number 6.
6.
Yes, because my last one was 4, and yours was just 5.
6.
How old is too old in the MLB, NFL, and NHL?
Okay, let's break it down here.
Now, it's good that she broke it down into those three sports.
Exactly.
Because they're different.
Very, very different.
They're different.
I will say, for hockey and baseball, it's kind of a generalized age.
Yeah.
Football,
I would say it's lower in hockey than baseball, but
I would say though for football it's more positional based because quarterbacks could play forever.
Yep.
But a running back who's going to get, beat up and tackled a bunch of times, or a lineman, or even, a corner who's, leveling people, they might not have a long, time in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? But what would you say the NHL?
So NHL, I would say it's not like MLB and NFL, mostly NFL, where each position kind of depends on what old is too old. I would say in hockey, if I had to give it an age, it is probably 28, 29, 30. Yeah.
There really is only a few guys in the league
that are over 28 years old.
Over that age, and are still performing at a high level.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And especially at the age of 30. You don't see a lot of people in the age of 30 in the NHL. And then, as in terms of baseball, it's almost the same with the NFL. I would say, really, it's between two positions, and that's hitting and pitching.
Yeah.
More so than the NFL, where it's each individual position.
Agreed.
I say hitters don't last long than pitchers do. Pitchers do last longer. You can pitch in your 40s. You can definitely pitch in your 40s and still be effective.
Jamie Moyer
is a great example of that. Bartolo Colon, great example of that. Even Randy Johnson pitched in his 40s, right?
Yep.
Same example. Nolan Ryan, Satchel Paige,
Mariano
Rivera. It's you can pitch to a pretty older age. I would say for a pitcher, if you're
would you say 32 maybe?
I'd even go higher. I'd say 36, really? 37.
Because I was going to say, there aren't many guys
you can be 35 years old and still be a phenom.
That is very true.
You can.
But there aren't that many guys in the MLB that are doing that.
There aren't, but I feel there's just more of those guys than hitters. In hitters' perspectives, I think if you turn 30 years old, 32. I would say if I see that you're 32 or older as a hitter, then that's a little old.
Well, I mean, take into consideration Judge, right? I believe he just turned 30 or is turning 30 this year.
Wow, he's really 30?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But this contract that he signed, right? He's not going to play until he's 40 years old. Mm-hmm. He signed, I believe it was a 6-year, $360 million. But it's, there's not many guys that hit in the MLB past the age of 32 and do it consistently. I mean, Brandon Belt, we just talked about him earlier. Yep. He's 35, right? He's still in the MLB. He's still producing, but
he's having
not
a good season
nearly
this year,
at a high level as he used to.
No.
So, NFL, I would say a quarterback could play 35 until you're about 35. Mm-hmm. But then
if you get to other positions,
it's
I
would say
20s.
Defensive wise, I would say probably about 28 to 30.
Yeah.
And then
20s.
And then I mean offense.
Kind of the same thing. You can be in your 30s and be a decent wide receiver.
I was gonna say wide receiver based. I'll break it down by position. Wide receiver based, I would say 32 as well. Mm-hmm. Running backs,
I would say younger.
I would say 28.
Yeah, 27 even.
Yeah.
If you're pushing 27, almost 28, then
honestly,
that's rough.
But then
that's a rough
tight
position.
ends play a lot longer as well as offensive linemen. Yeah. I would say offensive linemen and tight end, about 35 as well. Now there are anomalies of people above those ages that are still playing at a high level.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be another Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right? No. There's not going to be another Brett Favre, playing at these god old ages. Mm-hmm. Like Rodgers now, I believe he's 39.
I think so.
But he's still performing at a very high level.
Yep.
And he says that he has a couple years left, which is very true because I do think he has a couple years left.
I do too. I think he can play well into his 40s.
But that's a quarterback.
Yep.
quarterback
position.
I would say on average it's about 35, but there are guys that stand out above those standards, and it's honestly not as much as an anomaly for quarterbacks because there are older quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
So, I would just say that.
Even like looking back, like do you like going back to like baseball, like with pitchers like being it's a very good question. Like Jacob deGrom is a great example. You got to remember he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Like that if you look at that, you can kind of understand why his arm was out of whack.
Yeah. Honestly.
And granted, he's like at the build that like every pitcher kind of wants to be.
Yeah.
To be able to last long, but like it's just, I feel like age is just kind of getting the best.
You can't run away from age.
He came up to the majors at like 26, 27, 28 years old, like around there.
I mean, you literally can't run away from time.
No.
Time will catch up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just simple as that.
It's
great
sad,
question.
But...
All right. Question number 7. What is the best feature to use while you are streaming?
Best feature.
Honestly, I would just go to say notifications.
Yeah, notifications are very nice to have.
They are very, very nice to have.
I love, and I use this for my Twitch live streams, and that is what's it called? My sports score bot, where it literally it gives me notifications in my comments of like, and I can hand pick on what I want to be notified, but like I just let all MLB teams. Whenever a run scored, it pops up, so it's like an out of town scoreboard for you. And I have like a strip graphic where it cycles through every single score of any sport that is live, and like it's a nice little feature that I found out from like I was watching like just some random streamer one day, and like I saw that like it was like the bot was commenting in his chat, and he had the line board as well. And I've seen that before. I've seen that graphic before. I was like, oh, that's what it is. I looked it up, and like it's like, yeah, it's free. You can just link it to your Twitch. And I'm like, shit. So that is definitely my favorite and personal best feature that I use on my streams.
Good question.
It is a very good question, and there are more too that I haven't even discovered yet.
Yeah,
So, like,
amen to that.
There are more that I could absolutely bring into the play. So, another good question. But we have question number 8. The NFL operations official website has a section where you make the call on a play. You have you taken this test, and will you take it?
Can you read the bottom portion for me one more time?
It says that it has a section where you make the call on a play. Have you taken the test, and will you take one?
I mean, I would take the test.
I would.
I feel like I would, for myself, I would at least be okay because I feel like I know enough about like actual football. I mean, like, kind of I know more positional wise football, like what they do and everything in that nature. So I guess I can understand and make a correct play. I mean, that's kind of what you do in Madden, but I mean, like, stupid things happen in Madden. So I mean, it's not actual football. But I would definitely be willing to take the test.
That would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm down to my last question.
Oh boy.
Question
number
9.
9.
What clothing material do you find most comfortable? This.
Dry fit.
Dry fit. 100%.
Fit. It's dry fit.
There's nothing else
There's nothing more comfortable. I'm sorry. Dry fit is
nothing else I could say.
Glorious.
Yes.
You can wear it in the summer. You can wear it in the winter.
Amen to that. Good question, though.
Question number 10. Our last question, but not yours.
Not at all.
Your question's coming up next. But first, question number 10. Do players in the NFL and MLB use comms? Or cams? Comms or cams?
I think that's comms, and I'm thinking, like, communication.
And then it says, who?
So, in MLB, recently, if I'm understanding this, how you're trying to interpret it, in the MLB, recently, I would say last year it kind of made its ultimate showing.
It made its ultimate change in the sport for review.
Well, I was gonna say, pitchers are now wearing it's almost like a speaker on their helmet.
It's called a pitch com.
It's literally a pitch com, and the catcher has it, and they can literally type in what pitch they want.
Yep.
And the pitcher will then hear it, and
it will literally have a speaker of an AI voice saying slider outside, fastball inside, changeup low. Yep. It will literally just be that.
And then NFL, it's usually only 2 players on offense and defense. On offense, it's always the quarterback, and then on defense, it's whoever is the play caller for the defense.
Is it usually the middle linebacker?
Usually, it's the middle linebacker, or a linebacker in general.
Of some sort,
but I would just say it's a linebacker in general, honestly, because
he's
really
in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And he has the best view of the offense.
He is the best view of the offense, and he has
defense.
The best position to
communicate
to everybody else.
Yep.
So the offense and defensive coordinator are calling them on the microphone headset that they have to the helmets of the player. And they're telling them, hey, run this play, and this and this.
Make a motion here. Tell get somebody to cover this guy. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's literally just communications to so that the other team can't hear what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or they can see what they're doing, but they can't hear it.
So there's really the only reason that they do it in the NFL is for noise level.
Yes.
But the reason that they're doing it in the MLB
is
sign stealing.
Yeah.
People, at second base, it's just so. And I believe that there might be catchers that still do throw down some signs.
There will be, yeah. Especially
but they'll throw down some
work.
Numbers with their hands and some motions indicating which
pitch or which play,
which position and location he wants it, or which play he wants him to do, like a pickoff or something. But it's been a big thing where runners on second or even people in the dugout are just able to pick out pitches, because
and then the whole scandal the Astros went through with their cameras pointing at the catcher's finger signs so that they don't have to do that anymore, and no cameras.
So literally
no one will be able to use cameras to do that.
Normally the catcher who is calling the play or who is calling the pitch, he usually covers his glove and he wears it around his thigh practically, and he basically covers his glove and types it in.
Yep.
So and they'll usually tilt it towards their dugout as well. So only their dugout can see the buttons that he's actually pressing.
Yeah.
But that is a very good question.
Yeah.
But it's time. Get them typing fingers ready, as it's your turn. It's your question. Question number 11. Drum roll, please. What do you picture when you hear, now that is American?
American. It's America. Cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers and french fries now, that's right there.
Any freaking burgers.
Fried chicken right there. I'll tell you what, right there.
Honestly, I mean, I would say like a bald eagle.
Yeah,
flying.
bald eagle.
That would probably be my answer. But honestly, 4th of July fireworks.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and I know that fireworks originated from China, but
and they do, they do take place outside. I would say what's it called, flag showing. Yeah. Other countries do that too, so it's not we're the only ones that do that. But especially with an American flag, that's American right there.
Yeah. But I would have to say bald eagle, right?
Bald
eagle. A bald eagle flying, I would even say the Twin Towers, pictures of the Twin Towers. I honestly feel because it's not the
funny.
Twin Towers in general.
Yeah, it's not,
but
because
it's everything that came to be because of that.
Yeah, I say that's true. And you can look at that 2 decades ago whereas the Twin Towers were a symbol of the financial district. You know, it was capitalism. Yeah. That was the symbol of the Twin Towers. But now you look at it and you think of that as the symbol of America and unity. Yeah. So
honestly, yeah. I mean, Freedom Tower.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
One World Trade Center.
One World Trade. I mean, it's finally nicknamed the Freedom Tower.
Yep.
And like the Capitol building, like DC.
Yep.
That's American.
Yep. I mean, the White House. I mean, literally the Capitol building. Mm-hmm. So in chat we have the sound of gunshots and fireworks. You know,
the F word.
Yeah.
It says the F word.
And the F word. Amen to that, baby. Amen to that. I mean,
I would say,
I like, honestly, one that kind of sits deeply for me is a beer at a ball game.
Yeah, hot dog, beer, Cracker Jacks, apple pie, Chevrolet. That's American right there.
Now that thing
tailgating
is freaking American.
Tailgating
screams
American.
Screams American.
That screams American.
Amen to that. Mm-hmm. It screams America.
Barbecue.
Yeah, barbecues.
Barbecue, that's American right there.
Yeah.
That's also American right there.
Amen to that. Well, hey.
I keep forgetting how much of a good Southern draw I could do sometimes. Or Midwestern. I'm not sure if it's it's a Midwestern.
It's definitely Midwestern.
It's definitely a Midwestern. And a Southern draw is more down here.
Yeah.
Mama said the world's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Beer and ball game is good.
The movie Forrest Gump also screams American to me.
But like pulled pork.
Pulled pork,
Tailgating is huge. Tailgating, yes.
Yeah. That right there.
Yeah. Honestly, that's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly.
Beer pong. I don't think any other countries do that, do they? It's a great question. Do they? Does any other countries do beer pong? I feel like only America does.
I feel like, where drinking is popular, I feel like, maybe like Germany, maybe England,
Canada.
France, Switzerland, Canada. I would see, even Mexico. I could see places like that doing, beer pong. But I don't know. That's a good question.
Bonfires.
Honestly, poor politics.
Yeah, corruption. But also there's other corruption in other countries too.
Yeah, so that is true. I mean, like, there's always going to be an old person in office.
It's just like drama.
Yeah.
Like just reality TV.
Honestly, drama. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
It's just so much drama for no damn reason, bro. Like, and these guys are boomers too.
Grease,
and they're creating
cheese,
drama.
And wine.
Grease, cheese, and wine. My mama makes. What is it that they said that in the interview? They asked Tom Hanks. They're like, like we had the conversation with the kid that was gonna be Kid Forrest Gump, and we're having a conversation with him because we wanted to hear how he sounded, and he was like, well, "What does your father do?" And he goes, "My daddy makes grease." Well, grease, like what? Like what for? Like products, like in lipstick.
We got NASCAR.
NASCAR. I mean, there is F1, which is like Italian and French, but like NASCAR, that's American.
NASCAR.
That's also RVs. RVs are American. RVs are real American right there.
Good question.
That's a great question.
Good question. And we got some good responses from chat too, so that is great. But now it is time. We took a little bit of a break from it, and we broke it into two. Well, guess what? Today we're finishing part 2 of Rank This Harry Potter Edition. Well, folks, as you can see, we have a pretty good categories so far in perfect, straight gas, just right, not terrible, and that's ass. We already got some people in every category.
Yeah, pretty much.
We get a good mix.
And we broke it down for you guys, and what we think of each character and why they belonged in there, and we did another rundown to complete it.
Yes.
So honestly, you want to just jump right into it?
just jump right in, honestly.
Let's just jump right. I'm excited to do this.
So
because we still got great ones.
Yeah,
left.
honestly, we have and this is probably gonna be a little biased for us, but towards the end of our list here, there's going to be a couple perfects in a row.
Oh,
it's just gonna end up being that way.
Yeah.
But first, Lily Potter.
Lily Potter, lovely Lily.
Lovely Lily. It was a lily. A lovely lily. Honestly, just right.
Right? Like, I don't really like.
And it's honestly because she made the entire thing possible.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
She gave birth to Harry.
Gave birth to Harry. But it's like, I don't know, like.
And we don't see enough of her because
we don't see enough of her at all. And she does get mentioned in the books more. But like, I don't know, like the movies kind of ruined it for like the vibe that she gave. Because it was probably straight gas-esque.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, in the show that we're going to get. And after the show comes out, we're obviously going to end up doing another one of these. Because we're going to have an updated Harry Potter show list. But, let's continue to the biggest bad guy in the entire thing. The one who shall not be named.
Tom Riddle.
Otherwise known as Voldemort's nipple.
I was gonna say Voldemort.
Voldemort. Honestly, he was perfect villain.
Yep. One of the best villains ever made.
Honestly,
he's so menacing and
one of the most
just
perfect villains.
God, just absolutely nuts.
I mean, he really did. It was a perfect part. And even though he was a bad guy, he played a really good bad guy.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's just mean.
Mm-hmm.
He's just mean.
Like it gives you just like that feeling in your gut whenever you see him. You know what I mean? Like it's just he just made that much of an impact on you.
I'll tell you what, Lucius Malfoy made me have an unbelievable gut of rage every time he came onto the screen. Honestly, that's ass.
Okay.
I couldn't stand him.
Even like towards the end too, like Like I mean, obviously, you turned a new leaf at the end, very end, but
he was, and I'd love to have this actually, verified, but I believe he was under the Imperius Curse.
He was.
So.
But it's like it's like debated or whether or not he was still during the series because he was, early.
So like during his rise of power, Voldemort's rise of power.
Yeah.
But yeah,
honestly, he was a Death Eater.
That's ass.
Luna
Lovegood. Perfect.
And even J.K. Rowling said that she was just perfect for the role, and literally was just such a funny character.
I mean, and honestly, I kind of think that
pure-hearted.
Other than Bellatrix, I think that she's probably one of the best actresses or actors in the movies.
Yeah,
honestly, like fitting the role perfectly.
Straight up. Next, Professor McGonagall.
Honestly, perfect. She's mom. I mean,
she is grandma.
She's literally she's like that mom away from home.
Yep.
Perfect. I mean, there's no other words to describe her.
And speaking of another mom away from home,
who is just in the same category, perfect. Molly Weasley is perfect.
Yep.
She is literally in every heart of Harry Potter fans.
Just the sweetest
thing.
Character and sweetest motherly character.
Literally.
Mother character, like in the entire...
The entire thing.
Just great. Next, this is Ollivander.
Honestly, not terrible.
Not terrible. He did his part.
But there wasn't much for him to do.
No, like obviously you see him in the, the very beginning when he gives Harry his wand, and that was a big, step in the.
But then you don't see him.
But you don't see him
until his last time on screen.
Yeah.
Or I guess there's two other times to see him when Harry has the flashback, or the vision of, Ollivander talking to Voldemort.
Yep.
And then when, Ollivander is going, I think this wand has changed allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
My
sense of allegiance has changed.
Yep. Literally. But I feel like if we got a little bit more of him, he probably would have been.
But like
just
also
right.
Not terrible because he didn't really believe in Harry.
True.
Because he straight up said, like, if Voldemort has the Elder Wand, you do not stand a chance. Like, he didn't have faith in Harry.
Literally, that is true.
So that's another great reason to put him in not terrible.
Yeah.
Because and not put him in just right.
Yeah.
Just because of that alone. Next, Moaning Myrtle.
Moaning Myrtle. Honestly, straight gas.
Fuck it, why not?
Right? I mean, like, she played a funny character. Yeah. Like, she was all giddy and stuff, and she was way older
than what she was supposed to be. Oh my god. She was like 20 years older than her character.
So, I mean, honestly, hey, cool. Just straight gas.
Oh,
straight gas.
Now, who?
Nagini.
That's Nagini.
Honestly, just right.
I couldn't even see it. Yeah, just right.
It's a snake.
It's a snake. But I will say, like, in Fantastic Beasts, you learn more about her. And obviously you learn more about her in the books. Yes. They're a cool character.
Yeah, I would say if
obviously,
this was Fantastic Beasts.
Obviously a love interest of Voldemort.
Yes.
So, like, yeah.
Now,
this is
This is
Mrs. Malfoy.
Yes, Mrs. Malfoy.
Mrs. Malfoy's mom.
Morticia. I can't remember her name.
Oh wow, I forget her name. Bellatrix Lestrange's sister.
Yes.
I honestly would put her in just right.
Narcissa.
Yes.
I would put her in just right as well, but I could put her in straight gas because
of what she did.
Mm-hmm. But there really wasn't times where she was like really mean to Harry. Mm-hmm. Like you really didn't see a spotlight on her demeaning anybody.
No.
Like
much like her husband.
I would say just right though.
Just right.
I would say just right.
Yeah, because like you don't really know much more about her other than she's Bellatrix's sister.
Yeah.
And like their history with each other.
Yes.
But like what she did at the very end,
yes,
keeping Harry alive.
Agreed.
Like, that
100% agreed.
And is that Longbottom?
That is Neville Longbottom, I believe.
Longbottom.
A moment. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we don't have him up there already. Yeah, that is Neville Longbottom.
It's cut off. Not a really great picture.
Yeah. So I'm leaning straight gas here. But could be perfect.
I could put him in perfect.
I could put him in perfect.
Just because of the glow up that he has.
Put him up in perfect.
Yeah, buddy. He deserves it.
We're going to have a double row of perfect.
We're going to. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. All right.
Next,
the second oldest Weasley, the third oldest Weasley, I believe.
No. That's Oliver Wood. Percy. That's Oliver Wood.
That is. Yes.
That's Oliver Wood.
That is Quidditch guy.
That's the Quidditch captain, Oliver Wood.
Just right.
Just right. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
I liked him. I liked
cool.
it when they introduced him in the first movie, and he was in the second movie too. But I think that was it. I think he was just in the first two movies, and that was it. He was cool. He taught Harry how to play Quidditch. He taught Harry how to be the best Quidditch player to ever play.
Literally.
The best seeker. He literally taught him how to be the best seeker.
Literally.
So yeah, just right. Next, Percy Weasley.
Not terrible. Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, I could put him in Dad's ass, but what he did at the end makes it not terrible.
Yeah.
Because he was a dick.
Yeah.
So, not terrible. He was a freaking dick.
He was.
He was a dick to his brothers, man.
All right.
Next, Wormtail.
Wormtail. Honestly, Dad's ass. And there's a specific reason I have to put him there.
Okay.
Because you could obviously tell that Crucio and the Imperius Curse were used on him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the one that brought him back.
Yep. He was the one that brought him back. And
he was James, Sirius, and freaking.
Yeah, he was literally part of the trio. It was Wormtail, Patfoot, and Prongs.
Prongs. There we go.
And like, he sold them to Voldemort. He sold Lily and James to Voldemort.
He did.
And then, what's it called? Frame Sirius to the crime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, like, in all reality, I could put him in not terrible, just because he really doesn't do anything to anybody besides bring Voldemort back.
He does kill Cedric Diggory.
That is true. That is true.
Does he kill him in the book? Because he kills him in the movie.
I would like to say yeah, because yeah, I mean, like, he wouldn't have been able to do that if Cedric was just standing there.
Yeah. But yeah, because of the Imperious Curse, he was a kiss ass to Voldemort as well. So
I got to put him there.
Yeah,
but I don't remember her name.
Matilda.
But
no, is it Matilda? No. Shit. Oh God. Oh my God.
But Mrs. Dudley.
Yes, that's Lily's sister. Lily's sister.
Lily's sister. She's freaking ass.
She's ass. She's terrible. She was never good.
And honestly, you know, Vernon's along the list, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he ends up to.
Yes, same.
Because they were incredibly, incredibly terrible towards Harry. There's nothing Harry could have done.
Petunia. That's her name, Petunia.
Well, Professor Quirrell. Honestly, not terrible. I didn't really dislike him.
Yeah. He just got taken over by Voldemort. Same thing, like Imperious Curse too, right?
I believe so.
Okay. And he literally fused with Voldemort to keep him alive.
Yes. A little weird, but I mean,
Voldemort made him.
It was a good first villain. I very much enjoy.
Very surprising.
I very much enjoy him as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good actor to go from like, you know, Professor Quirrell to like, nah, bro, I ain't like that. Yeah. I'm with Voldemort. Fuck you. You know. Yeah.
Hey.
Lupin
is perfect.
I love Lupin so much.
Lupin,
we did not see him enough.
And I'm
in the movies.
Extremely happy that we only have to wait 2 seasons to get him in the show. Telling you, because I can't wait to see more of him.
I can't wait, man. He was such a great character.
It was a great character.
Just great.
I don't remember her name. But the reporter.
Was the journalist, the reporter. She's kind of ass.
Just right. I mean,
right?
No, not just right. Not terrible.
Not terrible.
Besides being a good journalist, I mean,
I don't know. Like, I'll put her in Dad's ass because, for one, who gives a shit about her, and also she makes Harry look terrible. You know, remember in the Goblet of Fire, like literally just making up shit to make Harry look terrible, just so that like the public will like fucking pay attention.
I'll bend. That's ass.
That's ass. I don't remember her name. She was the Quidditch instructor.
Yes.
In the first 2 movies.
Honestly, not terrible.
Yeah, like you don't really get anything out of her at all.
Yeah, you don't really get much out of her.
You really don't.
Yeah, you want to click out of that ad in a little bit?
What the?
I was just gonna say, if you can click that, maybe you can just keep it, so they could see the whole entire thing, and we could still see the bottom.
I could. I mean, I could like if I go to the. Can you just hold down Alt?
Holding Alt.
Yeah, like just hold down Alt, and it will do this. It'll literally just fill the whole thing up.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
So now we don't have to scroll up and down. We have
Ronald Weasley.
Ron Weasley.
Ron. He's perfect. He's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, we're gonna have a couple in a row here.
There's a many. And the next one,
Hagrid. Rubius Hagrid.
Just
and honestly, I would very much prefer you to put him at the very top of the list.
Very top. Very, very top.
Because I don't think that there's a better played character.
I really don't.
There's going to be one coming up in 2 spots, but yeah.
Who that? I can't see.
Oh, that is Jameson. Exploding Boy.
Yes. Oh my God. Scottish kid.
Yeah,
he's in the Gryffindor house. Oh my God.
Pull up chat. Can you please drop the name of the exploding guy for a second here? Because we don't remember his name.
Oh, the reporter's name was Rita Skeeter.
Rita Skeeter.
I remember that now. Oh my God.
I can't remember.
Seamus Finnegan.
Seamus
Finnegan.
Yes. Just right.
Yeah. Like he kind of turns against Harry a couple of times, but like he gets it.
Yeah.
And like he was a comic relief early in the series. So.
He was.
Kind of the same thing later too.
Yeah.
So.
Severus Snape.
He is perfect.
Literally, I think besides, Rubius Hagrid, there's no better played character in the series.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting him right there.
And honestly, put Bellatrix right next to Severus because those 3 are by far the best actors in this bunch.
Yeah.
By far.
Oh yeah.
By far.
Next is the psychic teacher.
Yes. I don't remember her name. She gets eaten at the end by Nagini.
Yeah.
Oh. Honestly, just right. Nothing wrong.
Not terrible.
Nothing wrong with her.
She's a nice lady.
I mean, nothing great about her.
Yeah. Nothing significant.
You have the grim.
Yeah. Besides that, and when when she goes to Harry, he will return tonight. Like it's freaking possessed.
Return once more.
And he shall be reunited once more. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say something? Sirius Black.
Perfect. I really wish, and I really can't wait until we get the series because we're gonna get so much more of him.
Oh my god!
And I'm so happy about it because it literally from Goblet of Fire to the Order of the Phoenix, I want to see how he goes about his life.
Yep.
In that time. And being in Dumbledore's army.
Yep.
Honestly.
Exactly.
Well, Vernon
Dudley.
That's it!
That's it! Right next to Petunia.
Justice. There you go, Vernon. That's justice.
You just ruined a punchline of my Japanese golfer joke. All right, last but least, not really significant. Victor Crumb.
Not terrible.
He was cool.
Yeah,
he was
definitely.
He was a good Quidditch player. He was very famous in the Romanian.
Everybody. At least the reason that I didn't like him was because he was standing in the way between Hermione and Ron.
He was standing in the way between Hermione and Ron.
He was cock-blocking Ron.
He was cock-blocking. Unknowingly.
Yes.
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't like he was doing it on purpose. It was just,
Yeah.
It was just victim of circumstance. So, but yeah.
Hey.
That concludes our Harry Potter best characters rank dis.
And honestly, I'm very happy with the list.
Yes, me too.
And honestly, I would just like to go over to the perfect category and the dad's ass category because those are the two most important categories.
Yeah, exactly.
So, starting off, we'll go dad's ass. We have Cho, and we have the guy going after Hermione in Half-Blood Prince.
Can't remember his name. Fudge. Umbridge. Lucius.
Wormtail. Petunia. Vernon. And Rita Skeeter.
Yep.
And in perfect, from bottom to top, we have Sirius Black. Ron Weasley, Professor Lupin, Neville Longbottom, Molly Lou Weasley, Mum in McGonagall, Luna Lovegood, the King Voldemort himself, Hermione Granger, the
main character,
Harry Potter
himself.
We got the twins,
the Weasley
Fred
twins,
Fred
and George.
We have Dobby, Dumbledore, Bellatrix Lestrange, Severus Snape, and Rubius motherfucking Hagrid. At the very top of the top.
I can't wait for the TV series.
I know. I feel like I know who they're gonna end up casting to be Hagrid, but it's going to be such a hard role to fill. But hey, thank you for tuning in to our Harry Potter rank disc.
For screenshot. Almost had a stroke there when I said that.
But hey, thank you again for all you son of a
whatever,
people.
I still don't know what that phrase means.
Bagalooza coming on to you. We appreciate all you do. Any final words to end us on this lovely Wednesday evening, the longest day of the year?
Summertime lovin'. Lovin' in the summertime.
This is the time of our lives, the summertime. Make every moment of it count. And always remember, you better be good.